this is our September 26th commission meeting. With all of our meetings, we start with a prayer and a pledge. And tonight I'm going to call Commissioner Quick. And if you'd like to join us, please stand.
If you would join me in a moment of prayer. Gracious and Heavenly Father God, we welcome you into this place. Tonight we pray for your wisdom to guide us in all of our decisions. We pray for your blessings to fall upon this city, for safety for those who serve in police protection and fire protection. We pray for your wisdom in all of our teachers as they guide our children each and every day. And we pray that you bless this city for all of the wonderful things. We thank you. In your most holy and precious name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Quick. And thank you for participating. If you will, Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. Mayor Stevenson.
Here.
Commissioner Cochran. Here. Bojo.
Here.
Beeman.
Here.
Doss.
Here.
Quick.
Here.
Askew.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
McDaniel.
Here.
Thank you, sir. Okay. I think everyone's had a chance to go over the minutes from our September the 12th meeting. There were no additions or corrections, and they will stand approved as common consent. Okay, tonight we have a proclamation, Fire Prevention Week, and I'm going to call on Commissioner Askew.
This proclamation reads as follows. Whereas the City of Rome, Georgia is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting our community. Fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes are locations where people are at greatest risk from fire. And whereas home fires caused 2,580 civilian deaths in the United States in 2020, according to the National Fire Protection Association, and the fire departments in the United States responded to 356,500 home fires. And whereas smoke alarms send smoke well before you can, alerting you to danger in the event of fire, in which you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape safely. Working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in reported house fires in half. And Rome residents should be very sure everyone in the house understands the sound of smoke alarms and knows how to respond to it. And whereas the City of Rome residents have planned and practiced a home fire escape plan, are more prepared and will therefore be more likely to survive a fire. And whereas the City of Rome residents will make sure their smoke and carbon monoxide alarms meet the needs of all their family members, including those with sensory or physical disabilities. Whereas the City of Rome first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education. Residents of Rome that are responsive to public education measures are better able to make personal steps to increase their safety from fire, especially in their homes. And whereas the 2022 Fire Prevention Week theme, Fire Won't Wait, Plan Your Escape, effectively serves to remind Georgia that it is important to have a home fire escape plan. Now be it therefore resolved that on behalf of the Rome City Commission, Mayor Sunday Stevenson of the City of Rome do hereby proclaim October 9th through the 15th 2022 as Fire Prevention Week. It's a lot of reading. And we urge all citizens of Rome to plan and practice a home fire escape for Fire Prevention Week 2022, and to support the many public safety activities and efforts of the Rome Floyd Fire Department, giving her hand and seal this 26th day of September in the year of our Lord, 2022.
Oh, thanks.
It's walking quick.
Is there a three?
No, and this is a, oh, is this like the charger?
Yeah, I know.
The charger.
Yeah, that's not helping me. Let's see if that, I don't know if
Okay. No, sir. There we go. Okay. Okay, so the whole point of that video, you may not have been able to see everything. At the end, it says, "Oh no, Sparky has escaped." So first off, I want to thank you to the commission for this proclamation. And second, it was so much fun being able to go out and video everyone. We were able to get 103 people from Rome and Floyd County in this video. Yes, Sparky sees himself on the video. And and so no, it was a lot of fun. But the reason that we did this video was we did a play on words with escaped. So Sparky went out to go visit all of his friends, and then he did not come back home. He escaped. But we're using this video as a launch for our community event this Saturday. We're hoping it doesn't rain. So we're doing a small scavenger hunt around Rome, and we'll have clues out. You can go and scan the QR code. It's fun for all ages. So bring your family out. You'll get to see a short little fire safety video, and then it'll give you the next clue. And then it will lead you to a block, like a block party style home escape party, I guess, here downtown Rome. So I'm not going to give it all away in case you all want to participate. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, thank you so much. Thank you there's several faces in here that were in the video, so thank y'all so much for being a part of it. All right.
Before y'all leave, there's only one problem I had with that video. The Rome City Commission was not in it.
Where we are now.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Thank you all. Okay. Very good. Okay. There are no registered guests tonight, no resolutions, nothing on first reading, nothing on second reading, nothing continued on first reading, but we do have some public hearings. Mr. Bryce.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Excuse me. All right, we have 3 items for you tonight. The first is file A22-09-01, the property at 6 Rooney Road, Rome, Georgia, 30165, Floyd County tax parcel, excuse me, H13J257. It's zoned suburban residential. The property owners are asking to annex the property into the city. The property is outlined in red there. Everything that's in pink is already in the city, so it's touching on multiple sides. It is developed with a site-built single-family home. There is no proposed change in use or zoning. And we have a property, or a picture looking into the property. This does come with a recommendation of approval from staff as well as the Planning Commission. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I will declare the public hearing open. Do we have anyone here to speak in favor of? Do we have anyone here to speak in opposition of? Seeing or hearing none, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Okay, Commissioner.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion that we approve this request for annexation.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. Mr. Clerk, if you will, call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Cochran,
Sorry, yes.
Bojo,
Yes.
Beeman,
Yes.
Doss,
Yes.
Quick,
Yes.
Askew,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
McDaniel.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Right.
All right. The next application is file Z22-09-01. This is for the property at 0 Martin Luther King Boulevard. 0 Gibbons Street, 17 Gibbons Street, 19 Gibbons Street, 0 Gibbons Street, Rome, Georgia, Floyd County tax parcels J130059, J130060, J130061, J130062, J130063, which requests rezoning from a mix of community commercial and high-density traditional residential to urban mixed use. These are the properties outlined in red here at the corner of MLK and Gibbons Street. This is what the zoning map of the area currently looks like, a mix of high-density traditional residential along Gibbons, O&I across the street for the church, and community commercial along North Broad. This is looking into the property from Gibbons. Looking further up Gibbons, there is an old curb cut there about where the truck sits. Looking back towards MLK. You have a copy of the staff report and the 8 criteria upon which we evaluate applications. Absolutely, you can have mine if you'd like. There you are. This is the application itself. Excuse me. This is the site plan for the proposed development. It does show MLK running northwest to southeast here in this version. You have 3 buildings at the rear that almost back up to the Roussans building. This was a previous site plan that was submitted. It has since been updated. You just saw the latest version. These are the elevations for what the proposed exterior of the building would look like. This is the second set of elevations we've received. The previous application showed pitched roofs and more of a suburban type development. This has more of a urban design to it. The layout of the proposed units. And so as you guys know, this is the second time we've seen a similar version of this application. We had a similar one a couple years ago, a year ago. So what's changed? The biggest change is one of the local community advocates has reached out to us requesting additional development in the area and redevelopment. Staff took that to believe that there was I guess a consensus amongst the community that this was something that they were hoping for. That is the biggest condition that has changed. There are, as I said, there are some minor changes to the building itself and the layout of the proposed property, but this does come with a recommendation of approval from staff as well as a recommendation of approval, a 5-to-1 vote of approval from the Planning Commission. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. I will now declare the public hearing open. Do we have anyone here to speak in favor of? Have one of you. Do we have anyone here to speak in opposition of? Hold on just a minute, please. Okay, you're in favor of? Okay, it's fine. How many is in opposition of? Okay, all right, thank you. We'll give each side 10 minutes, 10 minutes total. We'll start with in favor of, and when you go to the podium, give us your name and your address, okay?
Patrick Cash, my address is P.O. Box 472, Rome, Georgia 30162. I appreciate the commission taking a look at this project again, and I'm looking forward to partnering with the North Rome community in this development. Thank you.
I'm Bill Jones, architect for Patrick Cash. My address is 9 Mimosa Drive, Rome, Georgia 30161. This is a 36-unit apartment development. The breakdown is 12 3-bedrooms, 18 2-bedrooms, 6 1-bedroom units. We have increased the parking from when it was previously submitted from 57 to 75. That gives us over 2 parking spaces per unit. The requirement in UMU is 1.5. So we have adequate parking and additional parking. So I hope that you'll seriously consider approval on this project. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. Madam Mayor and members of the Commission. Oh, my name is Charles Love, 304 Kingston, 30161. The last time this issue came before you, there was over 300 people here who had concerns about this property. Since we've had conversations since the last time, the bottom line is, all of you commissioners, we want our neighborhood to look like your neighborhood. We want people in our neighborhood who contribute to the neighborhood as opposed to destroying the neighborhood. In North Rome, you know, I've been here for 5 or 6 years, 7 years, 8 years now. And I have been advocating for North Rome since I've been in this city. And I would not stand here today and advocate for this if I didn't believe this would work for North Rome. Is it perfect? No. Are we getting everything we want? No. But it's a start with what we want to happen in North Rome. And that is citizens paying taxes, proper housing, quality housing, so that we can move forward. Other parts of this city is having growth. North, South, East, and West Rome. North Rome is the last part of this city that can become a part of the growth of this whole city. And I would not be here if I didn't think that this was a possibility for North Rome. Again, we want our neighborhood to look like your neighborhood and not what it looks like now. Landlord, dilapidated properties, renters who are just there for more than one reason, landlords who are absent, who don't take care of their properties, who don't make any contributions, the renters who are there don't make any contributions to the community. This is an opportunity. This in conjunction with what I've been talking about also for 8 years. A tax incentive or TAD for that North Rome corridor. We will recognize, we're talking, having discussions about recognizing the contributions that past citizens have made, particularly to that area, especially at 5 Point, and specifically African American contributions. Those contributions should be recognized in some kind of way, and we are in conversations with people to make sure that happens. But I think progress in North Rome will start at that particular location. You all know, we all know what's going on at 5 Points right now. You have some developers and people who are interested in that area. But we need growth all the way down North Broad and in all parts of North Rome. There are lots that in my community who are overgrown, hard to find people that own those properties, and they're left to the private citizens' volition, and that contributes to crime. I want my community to look like your community, and that's not going to happen if we don't start some progress somewhere. This project, as I said, does not meet everything we would want in North Rome. But the last time this came up, there were over 300 people here to voice their concerns. Yes, there are still some people who have concerns, and I think those concerns will be addressed. But I think we need to have progress in North Rome, and that starts with my neighborhood looking like your neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, those in opposition of? Take the podium, give us your name.
Okay, I want to go last. Anybody else?
You can go first and last. If they don't take up those.
You have 10 minutes, yes, we'll just meet, sir.
My name is Sharon Kennebrew Jones. My brother Darius live at 31 Gibbon Street. I don't think the neighborhood deserves 34 apartments and for high rentals and stuff. I think something else could be done. Maybe put more houses there, space them out. But apartments, high rises and stuff, that's not good for that area. We need to make sure we have proper houses at that area. 36, you don't increase it from 22 to 36. Parking. 2 spaces per parking, that's not enough. Even if you got 2 bedrooms, sometimes you're gonna have more than 6 people in the house. It's gonna bring drugs, it's gonna bring a lot of trash in the area, and then it's gonna crime because of the apartments. They're gonna be so high, you ain't gonna be able to see everything. I think it was squashed the last time. It should be squashed this time. The people that live on Gibbon Street, I don't think they want it. And make it so that everybody got notice. We got last minute notice. That's probably why you don't see a lot more people here. Last time we was well aware of the meeting ahead of time. Yes, we need something in North Rome, because East Rome, South Rome, and all of those is built out. You got hospitals on one end, you got restaurants on the other, you got the cemetery on the other. So now only place you got to go is north. But there's many more places in the North Rome with more space that can be acquired. So I just don't think we need apartments right there on that corner for people to be speeding through. What we need is policemen to come through there, monitor the area. Thank you.
My name is Nanette Birdsong, and I live at 36 Gibbon Street. Yes, it's obvious that we are not going to win this. First of all, I am totally, adamantly against apartments being built where you all want to build them, but it's obvious we're not going to win this fight. We've been here before, and we see what's happening. It's going to happen. I believe that, but we don't want it. We don't need it. And as people have always said, especially in the last meeting, we need more housing in Rome. Let's come into the 21st century. Well, yes, we may need more housing in Rome, but we're already congested. Nothing has left that area. Nothing has dissipated from that area of Gibbons and Martin Luther King. So we need more housing, yes, but there's so many more places to put it. But y'all don't want to put it there. So we're not going to win this fight. I just want to go on record as saying we saw it coming, we see it coming, and I didn't get notice of this meeting until about maybe 2.5 hours ago. But thank you for letting me speak. I think it's a shame what's going on, and it's happening, people.
Madam Mayor, how much time is left?
6 minutes.
Okay, good. I'm Robert Owens, 61 Mathis Road, Northeast. I'm connected to the property because of my sister-in-law, Dale James, who lives at 27 Gibbon Street. The last time we spoke, I shared with you all about my brother-in-law, who has gone on to be with the Lord, and several of our others who is connected to Gibbon Street. I'm connected to Thankful Missionary Baptist Church, where we have several of our members that's connected to Gibbon Street. Some was born there, and they went to school, and they came back, and they still live there. I am one that I want you to look at the names like the Berrians and the Cunninghams and the Owens and the Kennebrews, that our main concern will be the traffic that will come up Gibbon Street. Last time, Bryce them showed the narrow streets there and how we have to park on the street. That's our main concern. We started out the last time and we talked about urban renewal, and us who live in urban renewal, we know what it was and we know what it is now. One of the main things that we can say is that we knew North Broad, we knew Spiderweb Drive, we knew Webb's Cafe, we knew that area. Now, you want to move from to 36 units there, when it was plain that 22 could have fit there. But you want to go with the 36 unit there, and you're going to have to change it from the high-density traditional residential and change it, rezone it, so Mr. Cash can fix it. We have no qualms with Mr. Cash. I met him last time. He's a nice man, and he want to make an investment. But he told you from the beginning, in order for it to pay for him economically feasible, 22 is not what he need. He need 36. Now, once you put the 36 in there, if it's not economically feasible for Mr. Cash, it's going up for sale. And somebody go buy that property, and then there we go again. He has a good vision, he has good ideas, but if it does not pan off, you're on the verge of genocide there, because it's going to be price who you go get into that. So we want to make you to understand that we want to be treated fairly. Not like everybody else, because you don't know Miss Cunningham, you don't know Miss Berrien, but we want to be treated fairly. In order to be treated fairly, then we have to go by what the code says. The building official came last time and said it would not fit. You made some adjustment, added some parking places, and now you're saying that it will fit. You haven't convinced me, because it said that we are moving toward high density. We're not there yet. We're moving toward TAD. We're not there yet. We've been moving toward 75 connector for a number of years. So what's wrong with wait till we get there? Now, we've got a set of rules. Go by the guidelines. If the guidelines say that it will fit, let it fit. There are some neighborhoods, and I ain't calling them by name, some neighborhoods, if this kind of thing came up, you would listen to them, but we are in another neighborhood. Yeah, we need housing, I understand that, but we have to be able to let Mr. Cash do what he wants to do. He's a nice man. I didn't even go to the planning meeting because I knew I was wasting my time. But I knew that if I came to you, that you listen to the people, regardless where they come from, but you listen to all of us, and we want to be treated fairly. I quote Napoleon Hill again, working together works.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Minute and a half.
Oh, wait a minute, did somebody else, I think I had somebody else that wanted to speak, okay.
I just want to say one thing.
You need to go to the podium, I'm sorry, you have to go to the podium.
It said to increase the density from 22 units to 36 units at today's construction costs, the project would not be feasible. So is it the money that's the problem that we want to get regardless of the neighborhood?
Thank you. We have a minute and 6 seconds, if someone else wants to speak.
My name is Reverend Freeman. I live at 1 Etowah Terrace, Rome, Georgia. Speaking on behalf of my pastor, Dr. H. Bernard Young, again, with what you have already heard, to re-echo, the original plan was 24 units, if I'm correct, 24, 26 units originally. Have you thought about the demographics of traffic, the influx in the area based on the traffic layout that you presently have? I really wonder, are we living in a village? Or are we living in a jungle? And that's not being facetious. It's only asking, how much longer are we going to continue compressing in that location and then building so high you're going to have to try to find a way to see over top of? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Cash, you had some time left for any rebuttal? Oh, you did. Okay. All right, thank you. We'll now declare the public hearing closed. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor, I do make a motion that we approve this request.
And the motion, to have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Commissioners on my right.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions. Bryce, could you please help me out? As the recommendation changed from what it was last, could you help me out with telling me what was, and what do your language tell you the reason for denial on the last time that this came before?
Staff had multiple concerns, ranging from, most notably, that we felt like it was imposing on the neighborhood instead of joining the neighborhood. It seems to, at 3 stories tall, it would be 2 stories taller than the nearest home and sit right up against it.
Before you go any further, in your opinion, has that changed in any manner?
In their latest site plan, they did move it some, so it's not as close to the neighboring home. It's still close, but it's, I believe, what, 20 feet roughly?
The buildings are approximately 45 to 50 feet from the property line adjacent to residential property.
Okay. They also, it's a little bit shorter because it has a flat roof as opposed to a pitched roof. They're correct.
What was the other reason?
Traffic was another. That was a big one. They have, as I said, they've redone the layout. It does add for additional parking. I'm trying to think. That's been a year.
So they created more traffic, in your opinion?
I mean, it's still the same number of units, so I don't anticipate, no.
And was it another reason? I mean, from your notes, what was the other reason?
I don't have last year's notes in front of me, sir. I apologize.
No, the public hearing is closed. We can't, okay.
My other thoughts are that I've heard from some of our esteemed community leaders like Dr. Love that's advocating for change for North Rome, which is really great. And this commission also has advocated for change to deal with more housing, etc. And we talked about the possibility of a TAD that will increase the possibility of change and for North Rome and other communities that TAD possibly get involved with. I would tell the commission that TAD for North Rome is not on the table right now, and it has not been voted in. So that's something that will come at some later point. This neighborhood in which this here project is before us is here now. And I've heard in caucus that all neighborhoods rely on us pretty much to examine the facts and then render our vote. I heard in caucus that it was a similar neighborhood. On the same day that this here project was at the Planning Commission, they had a whole lot of opposition. That neighborhood was at Stonebridge. I think that's coming up tonight.
They withdrew.
That was
It
withdrawn.
withdrew. But it weighed a whole lot on the opinion of, and would have weighed a whole lot on the opinion of this commission. I even heard our representatives on the commission say, well, it was at least 300 people there, maybe more. They had to move it up here. Just like you heard Brother Love say it was about that many at our last meeting when this came forth before us. I think every one of us know that this city needs housing. I do not think that putting a 3-story building on that corner for housing is the right fit at this point in time. If you're telling me that we're sitting in a situation where it's a TAD already in place and this opportunity lies for other areas in that same area could be developed with help from the city, then that's a different story. It's been mentioned here about the genocides and displacement. And then it's been mentioned, would you want it in your neighborhood, that close to your home? We're not talking, commissioners, about apartment buildings next door. We talking and looking at homeowners. So you gotta ask yourself, would you really want this next door to your home? And then you gotta ask yourself, if I may, Mr. Cash, if you would go to the podium, please. To make this project work, we're talking about affordable houses. Tell me in your mind what a 3-bedroom or a 2-bedroom or 1-bedroom, once you get this built out, it's gonna cost a person like myself or anybody else.
We're thinking right now that the average rent, which obviously that'll be for rent, not for sale, will probably be in the neighborhood of $1,350, possibly $1,400 a month.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
How much?
Between $1,300 and $1,400 a month.
I don't think that was in our study, commissioners, when we did the math, talking about affordable houses. It didn't reach that point. My question to you, Mr. Manager, you have dealt with these tasks before. If Mr. Cash was dealing with a situation where TAS was involved, would that affect his numbers?
I'm not sure I caught the entirety of the question, but did I hear if he's looking for a TAD?
No.
I'm sorry.
saying if it was a TAD in fact in place, would you think that he'd be dealing with different numbers?
Oh, so what I would say is if the TAD were enacted and voted on, he would have the opportunity to make application. And of course, should the project meet the merits, then it absolutely could change. It could change his numbers. And so, but that's a complete hypothetical scenario, and
It's hypothetical, but
yeah,
it's real. And Dr. Love, you see the point that I'm making. Right now, that's not here. And it could put your project in the realm of affordable houses. Right now, that model don't fit anything that several of these commissioners that set to vote on tonight was in favor of. That was not what we studied. That was not what we was pitching the citizens of Rome. And I would probably await their vote tonight, but I would think if we real about the situation that we find ourselves in, and we've been talking Tad for that North Rome area. I sit on that commission with the chairman up there, Mr. Bojo, and of course, Ms. Beeman. And that would change possibly the whole scenarios. It puts those homeowners in a different position. Madam Mayor, I'm through for right now.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else on my right?
I just, to address my friend here, affordable housing is subjective. You have two hospitals here, you've got Harvard Clinic. The Rome City School Superintendent, Dr. Byers, told us that he was having to rent apartments so that he could recruit teachers. And teachers are at a different income level. People that work in healthcare are at a different income level. So to say when we use affordable housing, we defined that in the committee, but basically the work of the committee ended and we decided not to do any of that. We have approved other projects here in this community, housing projects, and we didn't put an income, we didn't put a rent threshold on it. And that's not been the practice of this commission, is to hold one developer to a standard that we have not held other developers to. I think I've used this term before with the Rome City Commission. There are times when we are consistently inconsistent. As a body, every person on the City Commission said at a housing summit and in one of our strategic planning meetings that housing is an economic development issue. In order to bring jobs here, you've got to have a place for people to live. And there are people that would live in those apartments.
We had two categories defined during the studies we made. It was affordable housing and workforce housing. One of the key issues that was brought out was the fact that up to 30% of the workforce population that is currently working in this area lives outside of this area because of the lack of workforce housing. So you've got two categories. You've got affordable and you've got workforce, and workforce is going to be defined by the type of work you do.
My concern is that while we're building houses, that we don't consider the workforce housing as important as we do affordable housing. And I think that that's part of the issue. Workforce, we basically steer toward public housing, and they have to be in that area to get a decent house. I think that we need to understand that, first off, we're not just talking about housing, we're also talking about a neighborhood, about community. I think that we as commissioners need to also listen to not only the developers, but we also need to listen to the community. And if we start to look at our ULDC, one of the things that in talking to the people who were developing our new LDC, one of the things was, does the housing that we put in a neighborhood fit the neighborhood? Does it fit with the community that's in existence? We also have to understand that this is the beginning of gentrification in that area, because, like I said, people who are in the area are already looking, this is going to have a negative impact on my house. I'm ready to sell. So if we're going to run the people who are in the neighborhood out to build houses, then we haven't solved the problem. We've created a problem. We haven't solved the problem that we wanted to talk about in the first place. I have no problem with Mr. Cash. I have no problem with his desire to build. What I do have a problem with is having building a building of that size at that place because of the additional traffic it's going to cause on Gibbon Street, and because of the traffic it's going to cause right there at the on MLK. I think that we have to be very careful as to what we do when we do it. We have to look at not just whether there's going to be housing, but whether it fits the neighborhood. And we also have a lot of other housing started or committed to start, and so it's not necessary that we override the wishes of the neighborhood to simply build houses. We simply have to do what is right for the neighborhood, in addition to looking at what's right for the property owner. And that's the thing that I'm looking at, what's right for the neighborhood, and whether or not we can continue to gentrify this area simply because somebody wants to build some houses.
Thank you. I'll go to my left. Okay.
Well, first, I want to thank everyone for your time tonight. I know it's getting late, but I know this is a very important issue and enough to keep you away from home. Let's get something straight. I think these apartments are going to be nice apartments, and maybe some of the neighborhood that might be out of their price range, I don't know. But what's interesting is one of the strongest North Rome advocates, Charles Love, comes to this meeting and he thinks it might work. I thought that's very interesting and a pretty gutsy move, because I don't know anyone that's been a stronger activist in North Rome than Charles. But so anyway, it's a tough decision. I'm not trying to gloss it over here. It was a tough decision a year ago, because it's a very strong investment in a struggling neighborhood. Not that it's not a good neighborhood, and people have been there a long time, like you, Iris, I know. But, and again, I just don't think this is a slam dunk, but I do see some differences from a year ago. Thank you.
And my comment is that you're talking about people who reside and live there, paid taxes, and invested in that neighborhood, and their opinions count to me. And then I do agree that that neighborhood does need some growth. But what concerns me is now we're going from 22 to 36, and it will increase traffic with the parking. If you have 3 people in a household and each one of them occupy a vehicle, and everybody has an issue with parking in every apartment complex, there's going to be increased traffic on the corner, on the curbs, and within that complex if it's approved. And then you talk about people, the working people or the working force people. The workforce housing paychecks don't define 2-parent households by a paycheck. And when you talk about teachers in the school systems, you have janitors, you have librarians, you have paraprofessionals. Their income may not add up to what a seasoned teacher or a qualified teacher makes, but they still need affordable housing. So if you have a neighborhood who's saying, I don't mind if there's 22 units but not a high-rise unit, and they've invested in that neighborhood, their opinions count.
Anyone else?
Yes. Excuse me. As chairman of the redevelopment, I would like to share, I was looking here, Mr. Cash redid this on July the 19th is when he filed these papers to build again. July 19th. July 27th, we had a redevelopment meeting. And I want to read to you the minutes from that meeting. It says, City Manager Sammy Rich presented the final updated draft for TAD number 6, which is North Broad Street Corridor. This updated draft was created to increase the boundaries of the original TAD proposed by, including parcels to the south terminating at the CVS location on Turner McCall. This plan would include 162 parcels, which is 101.86 acres, with a fair market value of approximately $21.4 million. The plan shows that based on 6 hypothetical development projects, TAD number 6 would leverage $68.1 million in new market value. We had a guest who owns much property up the North Rome corridor who spoke in favor of it, saying this would be a game changer. Because we had this, what Mr. Cash did on the 19th, on the 27th it was discussed. And after discussion, Commissioner Beeman made a motion to approve the TAD. It was seconded by myself. Commissioner Collins was absent from the meeting. And that comes from the redevelopment minutes that are on file, if anybody wants a copy of them. So it was all in favor at that particular time that it would be a good project.
And I want to come back and make a comment too. Was anybody that's sitting in this room right now at that meeting? The people who were speaking in opposition?
No, we had the meeting.
Okay.
And everybody, well, I don't know if everybody knew, but it's the same time every month.
It doesn't matter. Everybody didn't know. So you have people here now that's in opposition, and they live
We've
there and
got
reside
people in
there.
here that are not in opposition.
Okay, fine, thank you, we'll take that. Do I have any other, you can address the issue at hand and not your meeting, okay?
Just real quickly, to equal a rent of $1,300 or $1,400 even right now, with current mortgage rates 3% down, including the amount of property taxes that you have to pay every month, that builds you a $155,000 house, which I can guarantee you is not a 3-bedroom. You can barely build a tiny home for $155,000. The idea of affordable housing was one thing in 2020, it was a different thing in 2021, it was something different in 2022, and it will be something different in 23 and in 24. And none of us in here can control inflation. It is what it is. I understand the affordable housing issue. I do. You're exactly right about people who can't afford that, and I understand that. same time, there is a workforce need here that we have to balance. And I'll just put a period on the end of this sentence by saying that we have upset several neighborhoods over the past 6 months, including Somerville Park, by putting a heavy industrial site very close to their house, Woodfin and Twickenham because of Chewy Oak Road, and the Dodd Boulevard development. Everybody got really upset about that. So I commend all the commissioners up here because change is difficult, and the votes that we take impact people's lives, and we just have to do what we believe is the best for the future of this community. So I appreciate it.
I do want to make one more comment concerning the TADs. TAD number 5 is the Martha Berry corridor that has not yet been voted on. TAD number 6 is North Broad. We have made several, we have tried several times to schedule the Rome Development Authority to meet to approve these TADs, and 3 times, 4 times, the county has canceled us. Now, granted, it's just not that they're out to get us. One time, the county manager had COVID, which I wouldn't want to have been there anyway, but there's other times they have canceled. That's the only reason these TADs are not in place right now. And I think we're trying to get it set again for, do you know when?
Mid to late October.
Okay. That's why we haven't moved forward on these TADs.
Any other comments concerning the matter at hand?
I'd like to ask Mr. Cash something, please.
Well, hold on, I think Commissioner Beamer started, and I'll come back to you, Commissioner Collins.
And I did want to make a comment too, that we have upset a lot of people by putting apartment complexes in certain areas that was right for the city. But I don't think we put a high-rise complex in any of those other communities on the corner lot.
Okay, Commissioner Collins.
Mr. Cash, could I ask you a couple of questions if you go to the phone? I know you clearly understood what it was that your objective was, trying to get this in over the finish line. What did you do different for us? Anything, talking with the neighborhood, purchasing property, anything of that nature?
Did you say purchase the property?
Yeah, anything of that nature.
No, we already own the property. We've owned it for quite a long time now. Okay. No, I've had several meetings with Mr. Love, several meetings actually, talked to him about what, the neighborhood's looking for, and we're in agreement that, yes, they're looking for growth. As far as talking about what Commissioner Cochran said, as far as the price, it's different from 2020. It's going to keep being different until, if it ever stabilizes. I don't know if it will or not. So as far as the affordable housing part of it, I mean, $1,300, like you said, you can't build that's a $155,000 house. I've been building since 1996, and I haven't seen those prices in probably close to 7 or 8 years now. And so addressing that part of it, there's not much you can do about that. And as far as the changes that we've made, I don't know the exact footage. We cut the top of the roof off. It's flat now. I don't know how far that brought it down. I know that was a concern of people not being able to see, and I understand that. And so we addressed that issue. We addressed the parking issue to, again, trying to answer all the questions that we needed to answer. Yeah, we pulled it away from the lot that butts up to it, the residential lot there. I believe it's 40 to 40 feet, roughly 45 feet away from that house. So it's pushed back up towards the corner now.
It's pushed towards MLK, and it's far away from the residential property that we use.
What would you say to the neighborhood after these comments?
I would say that, I'm very much an advocate of that area, not just because I'm actually a property owner in that area, but because I can see great potential in that area, great growth potential. And I'm hoping to be an advocate of yours to grow it the way that you would like for it to be grown.
One other thing, I'm talking to the neighborhood at this point in time. I'm trying to put on Charles Love hat. And Commissioner McDaniel hat. We are faced with difficult times in northwest Georgia. We are sitting in a area where it's projected to grow leaps and bounds. As you see all these roads tore up and neighborhoods tore up right now, that's what it's getting ready for. The only land that's pretty much left for development happens to be right in the middle of some of our neighborhoods. And that's the challenge areas where black people live. It's not unfortunate. It's just facts. If it's not us that's trying to look out for the interests of these neighborhoods, then who? Charles Love doesn't just advocate for North Rome. It doesn't make any difference. He advocates for any community all across the city. I just left a Tatuna meeting down at Barnesby Garden. And it had everything to do with the growth that's projected to be in this area. And it's like Commissioner McDaniel say, we're gonna have to, at some point in time, have these houses. It's like Pro Temp say we can't control the inflation. The thing we have to guard against is trying to make sure that we protect these neighborhoods. I don't like the idea that it's a 3-story building. Sitting there. I don't like the opportunity. I don't like the idea of stopping progress either. I can't stand in the way of it. But what I can do going forward is do everything in my power to make sure you guys get every opportunity that's going to be allotted to you. I did not know until Jim just said the reason we didn't have the TAD. The TAD puts you guys in a different ball game. You will better understand it as we probably move down the road.
Madam Mayor, let's put this in perspective. We're talking about a probability of a TAD being in that area. Consider what else is going to go in that area and the traffic that it's going to bring. The other things that are being talked about in that area that will increase the amount of traffic, that will increase the people in that area. Because if we're going to talk about a TAD, then we have to look at what else is going to happen on that corner at 5 Points. Not just what's being put in that on that corner. If we're being honest, rumor has it that there will be a hotel across the street, and there will be other things across the street. So we're talking about a huge increase in traffic and in people in that area. So we're not just talking about that. Think about how that's going to affect that neighborhood.
That's exactly the reason I'm trying my very best to make it clear to this neighborhood. Everything could possibly change. And
that is exactly the point. Things will change. However, we have to consider how it will affect that neighborhood because they are current residents of that area. I don't want to stop a TAD. I don't want to stop building in that area. But what I do want to do is I want to make sure that that neighborhood is protected. It can't be protected if we start right now chipping away at it and making it such that they can't afford to live in their homes.
I think your points are very valid. And I want the same thing.
Comments? Okay. Another comment. Mr. Clerk, if you will.
Yes, ma'am.
Call the roll, please.
Could you
Hold on just a minute.
read if you wouldn't mind reading the motion again?
Sure, the motion is to approve the rezoning as submitted from community commercial and high-density traditional residential to urban mixed use.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Could we get one thing clear? Are the setbacks with the new added?
So there are no setbacks within UMU. The one exception to that is when you're adjacent to a property that's zoned strictly for residential. That does put in place a 20-foot setback and buffer requirement. So on that one little sliver where it touches the adjacent property with a house on it, it would have a 20-foot setback and buffer requirement.
Let me make sure I'm making this, getting a clear picture.
Yes, sir.
It's 20 feet and I'm looking at 3 stories right out my door.
Yes, sir.
I think they want an additional, I think they were talking 45.
You would have to probably go about around 145 to be able to look out that side, to look at the street and look at any. I don't know if this commission has ever imposed anything like that on a community.
The only example I can think of is the McCall Apartments, which are 3 stories.
Those are his.
And they're roughly 40 feet away from the most adjacent house on the West Forks.
In which all those houses are on hills. You could possibly look over those.
But I mean, that's in its own corner lot, so that's, in terms of a 1-for-1, that's the best one I can think of.
But the McCall Apartments were replaced with McCall Hospital, which was also that same height.
Absolutely. Wow. I did not know that.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Bojo?
Yes.
Beeman?
No.
Doss?
Yes.
Quick?
Yes.
Askew?
No.
Collins?
No.
McDaniel?
Yes.
5 yes, 3 no votes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, we have one last case for you. This is file Z22-09-04. This is for the property at 232 South Broad Street, Floyd County Tax Parcel J14E275. This requests rezoning from office institutional to neighborhood office commercial. You have the applicant property outlined in red on South Broad Street. As you can see, the backyard has been turned into a parking lot. It has most recently been used as, I believe, sort of a boarding house. Office institutional is typically reserved for churches, schools, nonprofits, things of that nature. Unfortunately, it does not allow for use as a single-family home, which the structure was clearly designed to be. This is the zoning map for the area, so it's touching other O&I properties as well as high-density traditional residential. The family purchased it with hopes of their son living in it. However, they would like to keep their option open to be able to use it for some sort of office or retail use later on. Neighborhood office commercial would allow for that, so it's sort of a low-density mixed use, or a neighborhood mixed use. These are just some pictures of the property looking in from the different sides. Excuse me. This is the staff report itself. The staff recommends approval, and this also comes with a unanimous approval from the Planning Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I will declare the public hearing open. Do I have anyone here to speak in favor of? Do I have anyone here to speak in opposition of? Seeing or hearing none, I will declare the public hearing closed. Entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the request to rezone from office institutional to neighborhood office commercial.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Do you have any questions?
I do have one question.
Yes.
Is that house been looked at by the building inspector, or the picture that they just showed it there looked like it's about to fall over?
I believe they did hire a home inspector before they purchased it. They've since made multiple, I'm going to say, infrastructure upgrades to HVAC and all that. I believe it's still under renovation, though, is my understanding.
Okay, just curious, I mean.
But no, the applicant commented that it's been more work than they anticipated, so.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Have they already started working on it?
Yes, yes, sir. I believe there's a bunch of college students living in it. Their son attends one of the colleges here in town, and some of his friends also live there with him. It's almost essentially a boarding house again to some extent, but.
No other discussion. Mr. Clerk, we'll call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Bojo?
Yes.
Beeman?
Yes.
Doss?
Yes.
Quick?
Yes.
Askew?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes?
McDaniel?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll move on to Mr. Clerk.
No report, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Manager.
Madam Mayor, have no report.
Okay, Mr. Attorney? Okay, thank you. Under my time, we'll discuss the Joint Services Committee loss recommendation. And at this time, I will turn this over to the manager and the pro tem.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I will try to encapsulate the discussion that came out of our most recent Joint Services Committee. And simply, we've got a one page that is attached to the agenda. If we can get the clerk to click on. Oh, sorry. We'll show that for the public. But in essence, what we're talking about is an agreement that's going to take some amount of time for us to accomplish, because there will be certain real estate transactions. I'll endeavor to hit the highlights. The City of Rome would take over operation of the Forum, the 3rd Avenue parking deck, Town Green, Rotary Plaza, Chief John Ross pedestrian bridge, and then the 5th Avenue bridge. The full disclosure piece, part of the legal documentation that we're finding is there could be some federal grant money reasons that we could not actually take over ownership of the 5th Avenue bridge. So that's yet to be determined, but it is as part of our conceptual deal. In return, the county would take over the entire operation of the law enforcement center, where we currently own that. We own 37%, the county's 63%, so we would vacate city police and city municipal court, and we would also deed over ownership of the Marine Armory Parks and Rec headquarters at 1 Shorter Avenue. And so that's the extent of the real estate transactions. The money, if you will, the loss distribution, the city of Rome would go from 41.7% to 45.2%. Floyd County would have a decrease of 56.5% to 53%. Cave Spring would remain the same at 1.8%. And so, again, as we discussed earlier today, the legal team of the county and the city attorneys would have to work on probably a number of intergovernmental agreements for us to accomplish this. What we do know for sure is we have to have a new certificate on file with the State Department of Revenue by the end of this year in regard to the actual split of the loss distribution dollars. And so what we're asking tonight is simply you guys to take action on this as the conceptual deal that we have reached, with the understanding that we're going to be working in the next coming weeks and months to effectuate all of these changes. And happy to try to answer any questions. Mayor Pro Tem Cochran, if I've missed anything, please jump in.
No, I would just like to say thank you to the county. I know that Commissioner Waters and Manager McCord and Aaron Elrod work very, very diligently and were passionate about their position, as were we. And at the end of the day, I feel good about where we're at. I hope they do as well. I believe they do.
Agree.
And yeah, I'm glad this only happens once every 10 years.
Commissioner Cochran, do you want to make that motion?
Now, I got one question. The $650,000 we're showing as a plus for the city, that's per year, correct?
That is correct, and that was based upon 2021 data.
Yes, I got that part,
yeah,
but I just
any
wanted-
increase would obviously be to our favor, and that would, of course, begin January of '23.
Commissioner Dawes, I appreciate that, but I believe I'll leave that to the mayor to make that motion. She said she uses.
Okay, that's fine. You all work diligently on it. You can make the motion. I have no problem with it.
All right, well, I would like to make the motion as laid out by our city manager, and that we accept the loss agreement that is in your packet, titled Loss Deal August 2022.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Do we have a discussion?
I'd just like to commend Mayor Pro Tem and the mayor for the job they did in negotiating this. I think you did a great job. I don't think anybody thought we'd walk away with property swaps, but I think you did a good job.
Well, a big thank you to the manager.
Thank you.
I think we need to thank Finance Chairman Tony Reinhardt also.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah, Tony's been exceptional.
And I don't know if there's anyone else.
Great team.
Do we have any other discussion? Hear none. Mr. Clerk, if you will, call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Cochran,
Yes.
Bojo,
Yes.
Beeman,
Yes.
Doss,
Yes.
Quick,
Yes.
Askew,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
McDaniel.
Yes.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Motion carries, okay. The Joint Services Committee will meet Tuesday, October the 4th at 8:30 a.m. at the Floyd County Administration Building. And I'd like, before we leave under my time, I also would like to say that later this week, I think on the 28th, Commissioner Beeman will be celebrating a birthday, and I'd like to say happy birthday to it, so enjoy it on this, Commissioner Beeman. Okay? And that's all I have under my time. Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Cochran.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There will be a rescheduled Finance Committee meeting Friday, September 30th at 10:30 a.m. I actually requested that meeting because we've been several months now without a Finance Committee meeting, and I thought it was prudent that we do that. So that's the reason for that. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Commissioner Bojo.
Thank you. The only announcement I have, Water and Sewer will meet Thursday, October 6th, 9 o'clock, Sam King Room. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Beeman.
And under mine, I want to say with the Historic Preservation Committee, Reverend Kim was at the meeting. It was our first meeting this past weekend, so I was excited to see the room full of diversity. And up under the Keep Rome Floyd Beautiful, there will be a cleanup on October the 7th where the International Paper will be hosting that with us, and it'll be on the river float. And they're going to be providing the lunch after the cleanup. And I do want to draw attention to the fact that, and Joe, you helped me with this one, that we had 3 applications for up under Alcohol and Control Commission, and now they're all, each one of them that brought forth a proposal, all three of them have in the future, including gaming machines. So I just wanted to draw attention that that is a rise in that area. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Dawes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Real quickly, next meeting, I'll have a special announcement regarding our landmarking committee. And if you would like to go ahead and reserve October 21st at 11 o'clock, put that on your schedule, block that off, and I'll announce at our next meeting. Under tourism, we will meet this Wednesday, the 28th at 11:45 at the Rome Area History Center. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Quick.
Just one meeting announcement, Madam Mayor. The Rome Floyd County Planning Commission will meet Thursday, October 6th, 2:30 p.m. in the Sam King Room, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, sir. Commissioner Askey.
Madam Mayor, the Solid Waste Commission meeting that was scheduled for Tuesday, September 27th has been canceled. And I'd like to point out that this past Sunday, a week ago, the One Community United held its one table event for the first time since COVID, and it was very well attended, and it is a highlight of the year in Rome for a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Collins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to announce on the committee on the Downtown Development Authority, would like to put in form of a motion I would to appoint Harry Brock to replace Brian Shingley. And can I do both of these together, Mr. Attorney? Thank you. And under the Rome Floyd Planning Commission, would like to put in the form of a vote. A motion is to appoint Vic Hickson to replace Logan Boss.
Okay.
That is my motion.
Second. You have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. Mr. Clerk, if you will, call the roll.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Bojo?
Yes.
Beeman?
Yes.
Doss?
Yes.
Quick?
Yes.
Askew?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes.
McDaniel?
Yes.
Under community development, we did not have a meeting this here past month, but I would like to take a moment to tell you we had a visiting caucus from one of our former commissioners, that's Commissioner Lee. And she brought information to us where our community development over the past probably 2 to 3 years has made funds available to develop the Rebecca Baylock Child Development Center out there on Graham Street. I think that open house has been there. You paid attention, Swin?
We've got a
Anybody
flyer.
remember that?
October 20th.
Anyway, you call the City Hall and Miss Dina, either Miss Kelly will get you that information for the open house. I know that center, when it was Graham Street School and Rebecca Blaylock Child Development Center, has touched a bunch of lives. They would probably love to have you come through there and tour. October 18th is the time, is what, Greg? 3 to 5.
And it was good to see Commissioner Sue Lee at our meeting and see that she's still passionate about this community and very involved.
Absolutely, thank you. Under general administration, we canceled our September 27th meeting, but we will be having a call general administration meeting is scheduled for October the 6th, 11 a.m. in the Carnegie Training Building. And that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner McDaniel.
I have no report, Madam Mayor.
Okay, if you have nothing else coming for the commission.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move we adjourn.
Okay, I second. We adjourn.